Hello everybody, my name is Zeke, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a very special reading vlog. You may have noticed I have not posted a video in quite a few days. It has been over a week and I usually try to post every week, but I do have an actual reason. My computer decided to break down in the middle of the day on a random Tuesday and I could not edit anything. So I wasn't able to post anything, obviously, but I'm gonna try to make up for it this week. Hopefully you'll see this video and then I'm gonna try to put something else out. So to try to make up for not having anything last week. But it was really great because I was just sitting there doing work and then walked away and then came back and there were just like glitchy lines all over the screen. It really looked like someone had like actually taken my computer and smashed it on the floor. But nope, it was just random, which obviously didn't impact my life in any way and was completely great. But right now it's getting fixed at the Apple store. And if you're seeing this, I obviously got it back and was able to edit this footage. So all is well in the world now, but it sucked for a while. But I am excited to be back to making videos. And obviously I'm lucky enough that I had Apple Care and was able to get it fixed. So without further ado, let me talk about the actual video. So I also, along with getting my computer back, have not been reading that much recently. It's been, I think, a week since I even picked up a book because I've been absolutely swamped with work and I have been itching to get back to reading. I've been itching to have free time, which I finally do have some free time. And I thought, what better way to get back into reading than going to the library? So I went to my local library and I picked up 3 books. I picked up Luster by Raven Lalani. I picked up Joan Didion's Blue Nights and also James Baldwin's Another Country. And I'm thinking I probably won't get to all 3 in this vlog because I want to get it out in a timely manner. But at least probably 1.5 to 2 of them I want to get through. And I'm definitely going to read Luster because that's what I'm definitely most excited about. This book is about a young woman who finds herself in kind of a weird situation where she's moving in with this man and his wife who's in kind of an open relationship, and it's going to be about her exploring this weird situation and I'm guessing, learning about herself through this experience. But I really don't know much beyond that. But I'm really excited for this. This has been really big recently, and I'm definitely a little late to it, but I'm excited to see what all the fuss is about, and hopefully I'll like this. And also, it's not too long, so it'll be a good kind of way in to get back into reading. And then the other 2 books I have are Another Country by James Baldwin, which I know basically nothing about, but I read Giovanni's Room by him sometime last year, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to read more by him, and I know that this is supposed to be really good. I think this is a little more grand and expansive than Giovanni's Room, so I'm just excited to read it because I know that the writing will be amazing, the discussions will be amazing, the themes will be interesting, and I've just heard nothing but good things. But this is pretty long, so I don't know if I'll get to this in the video. And then the other book I picked up was Blue Nights by Joan Didion. I've read a lot of Joan Didion at this point, but I've only read one other nonfiction, and also this was the only Joan Didion they had at the library. So I had limited options in the first place, but I'm actually happy with this one. When I picked it off the shelf, had no idea what it was. When I checked it out, no idea what it was. But this is actually, it's not a direct follow-up, but it kind of acts as a follow-up to The Year of Magical Thinking, which is the other nonfiction memoir I've read by her. She writes fiction and nonfiction. I've read a lot of her fiction. The Year of Magical Thinking follows her in the year after her husband dies, but we also have backdrops of her child who is sick, and then her kid ended up dying. So this is about her reminiscing on that. Obviously, not a very happy topic, but something I really want to read, especially because I love The Year of Magical Thinking so much, and I just love Joan Didion's writing, and I love her books so much. So definitely going to have a lot on my plate, and we'll see how much I get to, but definitely going to start with Luster, and I'm going to start reading it now, and I'll check in a little bit. Okay, I've started Luster, and I'm about halfway through, and I'm definitely really enjoying it so far. Like I said, it's about this woman. She meets this older man on a dating app, and she starts a kind of weird relationship with him. He's in an open marriage. She ends up meeting his wife, and things are kind of expanding from there. We also follow her at her job. She's one of only 2 Black women at this job, and there's lots of stuff going on there. She slept with a lot of people in the office. Really, this book is a lot about sex, it's about power imbalance, it's about race, and it's really interesting so far, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. And also, something I am really enjoying is the writing. It's very short, snappy paragraphs, very witty in a lot of ways, and it really keeps you hooked in on the story, even if it's not really action-packed. I mean, we're just seeing this woman go through her life and have this weird relationship, but it's hard to put down, and it feels like it's moving very fast just because of how it's written. And I'm, as I said, very excited to see how it kind of all plays out, where the relationship with the main character and the wife goes, because I think that's going to be interesting, and I think I'm going to end up enjoying this a lot. So I'll check in when I finish the book, and we'll see how everything went, but it's looking good so far. I finished Luster, and I ended up really enjoying it, as I expected. I continued to like the story, I continued to like the characters, I continued to especially enjoy the writing. As I said, very snappy. I didn't really mention this, but it's pretty funny as well, even though there are a lot of kind of depressing things that happen in this book. But throughout the whole story, we really are just following the main character's perspective. She's the only one whose perspective we see, but I feel like the first book was a lot more focused on her relationship with the husband of this family, and in the second half we got a lot more of her with the wife and the child. And I didn't mention this before, but basically this wife and husband, they've adopted a Black child, and so she's kind of welcomed into this weird environment and starts to form some sort of relationship with the child, with the mother. And it really, all the ideas that are presented in the first part about power, about race, and about sex are kind of expanded on. In the second part, we also get conversations about art and what it means to be an artist. And particularly, I really love the ending of this. It wasn't necessarily happy, it was kind of bittersweet, but it felt really powerful, and it really felt like it didn't wrap up every loose end in the whole story, but it really tied everything together well. And so, as I said, I'm gonna give it 4 stars, just really enjoyable read. I think it's completely worth the hype, and I'm so glad I finally got to this because I've been wanting to read it for a while. And yeah, so that's that. I think I'm gonna read Blue Nights next, just because I'm looking for something a little more nonfiction. So I'll check in after reading a bit of that and tell you how it's going. But so far, happy, and hopefully the next books I read are gonna be just as great as this was. Okay, I started Blue Nights. I'm about not quite halfway through, a little less than halfway through, and so far I'm definitely enjoying it. This one, as I said, it's really about her daughter. She's exploring her relationship with her daughter. We're seeing moments from when her daughter was growing up. She's thinking about different experiences she's had related to other people she knows who have died, young people, children of her friends themselves. We get a lot of her just randomly mentioning these illnesses that her friends who have grown up have had in the past and have developed over time. And it really does feel like a book centered around death, but it's less about grief so far than The Year of Magical Thinking was. The Year of Magical Thinking, the book about her husband passing away, is really about the grieving process, but I feel like this book is more just her reminiscing and more of her just telling these stories, which I think is quite different and I am definitely enjoying. But it's just really readable. It's still sad, obviously, considering the subject matter, but I'm just gonna keep going. I love her writing, obviously. Great writer, one of my favorite writers, and I'm just gonna finish it. It's quite short, it's only about 180 pages, I think. So I'll finish it soon and let you know my final thoughts. Okay, I am all done with Blue Nights and I'm giving it 4 stars. There's something about Didion's writing that will just always do it for me. She's so personal, she's so descriptive, and it really gets through to me no matter what she's writing, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. But I feel like especially, well, I do end up enjoying her fiction more just because I get more enjoyment out of fiction in general. There's something about when she's writing about her personal life that really you can really feel all the feelings she's feeling, and you really get absorbed into her life and the stories she tells. And it's always just, it's so moving, especially she's talking about topics that are really depressing, and she's very good at making that interesting while also leaving space to talk about the hard parts and the sad parts. And especially in this book, near the end, she wrote this late in life when she was like 75. I think around 2010 this was published. She really at the end of the book talks about how she feels frail in a lot of ways, and she talks about aging, and she relates that to adoption because her daughter is adopted, and she relates that to losing her daughter, the fear she's felt throughout her life. She relates that to fear she's had about loss, fear she's had about her her daughter's fears. Just really interconnected, really powerful insights into her own life and the lives of the people around her. And I just think it's always so impressive. And I wasn't even expecting that much of this. It was just I wanted to get something from the library, and this was the only Joan Didion book they had, and I just wanted to read another Joan Didion book. I knew nothing about this, and obviously ended up blowing me away. So 4 stars to this, 4 stars to Luster, and that's probably going to do it for the vlog. I did not get to another country, but I still have it, and I'll read it soon. It probably won't be in a vlog just because I probably won't film another vlog for a little while. But definitely, if you want to hear my thoughts on this, I will probably read it before the end of May. So May wrap up, look out, you'll hear all about this. I'm sure I'm gonna love this. But overall, this was very successful. Neither of these were technically 5 stars, but that doesn't really matter. These were still both incredible, obviously very, very different. This is going to stick with me for a while. It's just very memorable. It's just a very different story, obviously. The content is very unique and very well written. And then this, I mean, it's Joan Didion. What else do I have to say? But that's going to do it for this vlog. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe if you want. I try to post videos once a week. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. And I'll see you in the next one.